I absolutely adore watercolor, but I feel like a lot of times I don't use it necessarily in the typical way. I teach quite a few watercolor and ink illustration classes, and this is my favorite way to use the medium. Most of the time, actually, when I'm doing watercolor, I'm using it to enhance ink drawings. I've never really kept up with an art journal because of the fact that so often I have a million different actual big projects going, so I always want to devote my time to that. But I was finding myself experiencing a little bit of burnout, so I thought that doing some art that's just for me, just for fun, and to relax would be a good idea. Probably. This has also helped me with my need to always finish something. As I've started to finally work on a larger scale, for most of my life, most of my finished artwork has been like 18 by 24 at the largest, simply because it's really hard for me to just let a project go. I just want to start it and I want to finish it. It's hard for me to take months to work on something and not see that finished product right away. I'm very much a when I start something, I want to finish it. But basic needs like food, showering, leaving the house are important, so that's not always possible. However, feeling like you're completing something and really getting somewhere with your art practice is very motivating and very important. That's why when I do teach classes, typically we'll finish a mini project, each 2-hour class, or sometimes we might take 2 weeks max, but I love doing mini projects with people as they're learning because they get that satisfaction of being able to take something home and really feel like they accomplished something by coming to class. So this little book may be just for me, but I still want to give you a peek into what I'm working on. Kind of like with my happy book that was more collage style and collected images that I showed earlier in a previous video just for laughs. This book is meant to be something that collects just different images and words that I find inspiring and that make me feel good, so that every so often I can flip through it and it's just something that's very edifying. I'm not usually a quotes person actually, and sometimes I actually even get annoyed by art with quotes in it, funny enough, but this works for me because I love to read, and so whenever there's just a sentence that really strikes me in a book I'm reading, whether it's fiction or nonfiction, a lot of times I'll write it down or take a snapshot of it, jot it down on a napkin or sticky note, whatever. And so this is my way of taking all those little bits and pieces I've collected that just struck me in some way and putting them together with visuals, which is my preferred means of communication. I hope you enjoyed this sneak peek into my art journal, and definitely let me know if you want to see more. If you're enjoying this and want to see more in-depth art demos where I step-by-step take you through how to make something, then I have a lot of that on my channel as well, so be sure to subscribe. Thank you!